Hello everyone, this is SherikTH and welcome to another Dragon Ball video. Today I'll be going over episode 47 of Dragon Ball Super, which I bet a lot of us Dragon Ball fans loved, and where a ton of stuff that we've never seen or heard of before got revealed and introduced. The episode starts off with Trunks running from Black, as Black is blowing up the city here and there, just absolutely destroying the place. Trunks is trying to hide from Black and get back to Bulma's lab. When he gets back to Bulma's lab, Bulma and Trunks are happy to see each other again, as it looks that they haven't seen each other for an entire year. During that 1 year span, Bulma has been constantly working on fuel for the time machine. As Trunks states, is this all we could make in 1 year? Basically, that would mean that Black appeared 1 year ago, and that basically for 1 year they've been avoiding him, so that they could go back to the past and get Goku and Vegeta to help. As Bulma states, many people died to make that energy, which would make sense that there were many people there because the androids did not kill everyone. There were still many people on the planet back when the androids existed. So when Trunks came back from the past and killed Cell and the androids, there were still many people to repair and repopulate the planet. I mean, it's been 17 years in their timeline since then, so it makes sense that by then they would have fixed a lot. Not everything, but a decent amount. Anyway, going back. As it turns out, right after Bulma and Trunks share their conversation, bam, Black attacks and destroys the lab and absolutely destroys Bulma's machine that was making the fuel. What's even more unfortunate is what happens next. Bulma tells Trunks that he has to go because he's the only hope they have for the future. She gives him the fuel, and as we've seen over here, Black is holding Bulma by the neck, and what follows after is probably one of the most painful moments in Trunks' entire life. He watches his mother die right in front of him. But not only watches her die, he sees her literally being disintegrated right before his eyes. Like, think about the fact that Trunks was very traumatized by what he saw, and immediately he had to run as if nothing happened because he had to save the future. He was the only hope left for the future, so he had no choice but to go. He had no time to feel bad for what he saw. And right after this dark moment, we go back to the happy past, where Goku is enjoying his brand new crops. Goku then invites Piccolo over so that they can do some training, but little did Piccolo know that Goku just wanted him to help with the harvesting. Piccolo argues against this and says that work is not training. Goku then bounces back and says, well, this is what Master Roshi made us do back in the day when I was training. And this was a great moment for me because I remember all these things from the original Dragon Ball. So I was kind of hit with nostalgia seeing Krillin and Goku delivering the milk or tillaging the fields with their bare hands. It was a good bit of nostalgia for me. As they begin harvesting the crops, Piccolo and Goku get really competitive and they try to see who can harvest the most crops. A little bit later, Krillin comes and he's surprised to see Goku there because, well, Vegeta's gone to train with Whis. So why is Goku still here? Goku doesn't really say anything, but he just puts his fingers on his forehead, and as Vegeta's training with Whis, when Vegeta turns Super Saiyan Blue, Goku locks onto Vegeta's energy and teleports to Whis' place. Chi-Chi's then upset for the fact that Goku left, all because of Krillin, so then she makes Krillin harvest the cabbages and the rest of the vegetables with Piccolo. Whoop whoop. When Goku arrives, he doesn't really have a reason for being there, so Beerus asks him if he brought anything for him. Goku, being a quick thinker, takes out a cabbage and gives it to Beerus. Whis then tells Beerus that it's a really fresh crop and everything, so Beerus decides to try it, and apparently Beerus likes raw vegetables. I guess that's a good thing for Goku. Although Beerus does say that it isn't the food fit for a god. So Goku just says sorry and apologizes. Anyway, back to the future. We see over here in this scene, right back to the future, Trunks meets Mai. And as Trunks states, basically what happens is that Black was able to find out their lab because Black is now able to sense energy. Now what this statement means, this statement holds a lot of meaning. Basically Trunks said, that bastard Black, he can now sense my energy. Or my ki. This means that Black wasn't able to sense ki before. Which really makes you think, where does Black come from? Because if he's so powerful, and if Black is Goku, like if Black actually used to be Goku or anything, like if he is literally just an evil Goku, well then he would have been able to sense energy. But this doesn't make any sense. How come he wasn't able to sense energy up to now? Which makes you wonder, is he actually just an evil being that looks just like Goku? That is something to think about. Of course, we're only going to see more of this in Dragon Ball Super, and that's how we're going to find more about Black. But anyway, moving on. Trunks goes on to tell Mai that Bulma died, and Trunks gets really teary. And it only makes sense too. I mean, his mother just died, and he just saw her being literally disintegrated right before his very eyes. How else would he react? Once again, this episode has a knack of going between the dark future and the happy past. So we're back in the past again with Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, and Whis enjoying some giant ramen, which personally, I would love a cup of that. Also, as a side note, why doesn't cup ramen that I ever buy have those pieces of meat and all those delicious stuff? I mean, I can understand why it doesn't have the meat, because that would be kind of gross having all that meat sit there for so long. But still, anime, why you lied to me? Why you make food look so good on screen? Anyway, as the conversation goes, Goku asks about Omni King's power. Whis then tells them that, well, Omni King's very powerful, and that Saiyans have a bad habit of judging people by their strength. Goku's really asking why Omni King is so powerful because he saw Beerus so scared. Beerus then states that, well, the Omni King doesn't fight. He could obliterate anything in an instant. Whis then goes on to tell them that he could obliterate bad guys, planets, galaxies, even entire universes. And this statement that comes up next is the one that gives me the most to think about in this entire episode. There actually used to be 18 universes, and the Omni King destroyed 6 of them because he was in a bad mood. I mean, just think of that. There used to be 18 universes, and just because the Omni King felt like it, he destroyed 6 entire universes. With all the galaxies, with all the stars, with all the people in them. Think about that for a second. Like, just listening to that makes me think that the Omni King is actually omnipotent. Of course, we don't know exactly if he's omnipotent, but at the very least, we know he can destroy 6 universes. And not only did he destroy 6 universes, he destroyed them all in an instant. It's like in the blink of an eye. You exist and done, you're erased. Trunks and Mai are hiding at the hideout, enjoying some food that they actually were able to find because they've been eating mostly dog food and they finally got their hands on some real food. They talk about their plans to go to the past with the fuel, and their plans are to go 17 years back in the past in West City, which is where Bulma lives. As they begin their escape, out of nowhere, Black attacks. Trunks begins to fight back, but obviously he's no match for him. Not only that, Black is probably just playing around at this point. Mai decides that the only way to settle this is to act as a decoy and make sure that Trunks escapes to the past. Obviously, Trunks protests to this, but before he can do anything about it, Black attacks. And in an instant, Mai is killed. Luckily, she's not disintegrated, but when Trunks holds her in his arms, it is clear that she's dead. And that right there hits in the feels again. I mean, 2 of Trunks' most important people, the only people that were close to Trunks in the future, they are gone in the same day. What can he do about this? I just feel so bad for Trunks right now, to be honest. Of course, though, this doesn't end just like that. We have Black making the full appearance. And honestly, as evil as he is, I actually think he's pretty badass. I actually like him. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's just so cool that way he makes that smirk appearance. And his words, his only words in the entire episode, are overflowing with badassness. It's the day you take your final breath, Saiyan. This episode was really dark, and it just set the mood for what's to come next. I'm really curious as to what's going to happen in the rest of this arc. And finding out more about the Kais and about Black's earring, because I'm really confused. Why does he have an earring? And why does it look like a Potara earring? All these questions and more will be answered in future Dragon Ball Super episodes, so guys, stay tuned to my channel and don't forget to watch Dragon Ball Super. As always, thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on this episode and on Black and all kinds of other theories and things that you guys want to talk about. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And have a good day, mates.